Kazakh national handcrafts make up the precious roots of steppe culture. They provide an inside look into nomadic lives. The art of the nation who once lived upon the great steppe is pictured here through wood and iron processing, jewelry and felting. Many programs modernize the culture of hunting, falconry, horse training and racing. Take a look inside the Kazakh culture on the program KazArt.
On
Kastev's famous picture, Milking Horses, we can see the animals depicted in a domestic style. The animalistic and domestic style converged here very well. The mares and colts, shown in the foreground, with one of the mares being milked, are juxtaposed to the smoking yurts and the mountains in the background. In a very peculiar, inherent only to himself way, Ablehan showed the tranquil domestic life. The animal style is one of the more commonly used ways of depicting living things. Coming from a Latin word animat, the style has many manifestations in graphics, fine art and sculpture. The first examples of this style we can find in stoneworks of the prehistoric human tribes. Samples of the style were found among the remnants of the Scythian and Saka tribes. A camel-shaped statue found in Almaty, Sheepstone, found in Mangostal region, gives the modern researchers an idea that depicting animals is inherent to the Kazakh handicraft and takes roots in very old times. So it is not surprising that the modern Kazakh artists were able to create some of the most outstanding pieces known. The animal style was one of the genres that were revived during the Renaissance, thanks to the immense interest from the artists of the era. The necessity to pay close attention when depicting the exact features of the animals made this genre challenging and interesting to research. The tendency to show the skeleton in the anthropologically correct way first appeared during the Renaissance. Later on in the 19th and 20th century, the necessity to get out and draw in the field to make the images more realistic presented itself and was met with gusto.
Коллекции Государственного музея искусств имени Абылхана Кастеева в залах Западной Европы анималистический жанр.
We exhibit the works of the Dutch, German, French made in the animal style in the Western European Art Hall of the museum. The famous piece called Boar Hunting by an anonymous Flemish artist is one of the more recognized samples of the genre. The scene of the hunt takes up the whole surface of the canvas. The scene is packed with drama and tension. We can easily sense the urge that the artist meant to convey. The hunt is in its culmination. Showing the animal and its state in such a clear way undoubtedly required a high level of mastery from the artist. However, the main focus of the work is in its composition. The animal's movement, shape and color are crucial for the artist. It is not uncommon among animal style artists to paint the animals that carry noble properties for people. The eagle's freedom, the elk's grace, the lion's strength are all symbolic.
Предпочитают изображение диких животных, как в нашем случае, потому что они являются символом свободы, независимости и силы.
Having domesticated horses, cows and sheep, our ancestors used their byproducts as they found necessary and were tightly dependent on the animals. Showing these animals in the art form was a kind of homage paid to the support they gave and needs appreciation. One of the animalistic works of the Soviet era is this piece by Albakar Ismailov called The Blacktails on the Pasture. These animals are grazing in a field are considered to be the most well-executed animalistic piece in the Kazakh animalistic art genre. Depicting animals in their natural environment is truly a perfect formula for a good animal piece. In this particular work, we see the artist's keen sense of connection to nature and the animals that he showed through a detailed depiction of each animal.
Жалпы суретшілердің шығармаларына ден қойып қарайтын болсақ, анималистік жанрдың өзін екі түрге бөлуге болады. Мұнда жануарлар
Based on the auteur of artists of the genre can be divided into two main groups. The first one gives animals human properties, looks and shows the artist's own sometimes divergent opinion towards the social, political and cultural events happening around them. In the second group, animals are depicted exactly as they are, with their natural instincts of predators, dangerous creatures that can wreak havoc if met unprepared.
Жануар ретінде көрсететін мінез құлқын ашатын суретшілер осы кезеңдерде етене бөліктене бастады.
The animal genre finds expression in sculpture, fine art, handicraft, graphics and other types of art. However, the wide range of colors, compositional instruments of graphic art allow for unbounded artist freedom. For example, any color that nature has can be recreated with paint, as such works towards the artist's idea to show the environment as realistically as possible. Graphic art requires a heightened sense of exigence. Showing an animal in its natural state is very difficult. The color, face, expression, movements differ from animals in the wild. Their behavior is unpredictable. Some can potentially cast danger to the artist's life. Others are very easy to manipulate. They're just like humans. Each has its own character. The urge to convey this very difference drives the artist in their endeavors. Obviously, the opportunities for expression in graphic arts are much bigger if we are talking about the quality of works across different types of art. For example, showing the time of year or the time of day is way easier to do than, let's say, in sculpture. With sculpture, you are left powerless to show intangible assets of a scene. The laws of shading and lighting serve the artist on the flat surface of a canvas. Through proper shadows and tints of color, the artist shows dimensions and volume of the subject. In his depiction of a horse and a man from 1941, to show that its connection to the man, Yesken Sergibayev drew the horse in the correct anatomical proportions. For a nomadic nation with strong ties to domestic animals, we now see how the depiction of our domestic life required not only one but three unrelated genres: animal, historical and genre painting. A loyal stallion and a lazy dog are a young man's all-time companions in this portrait and obviously make the work a pearl of the animalistic as well as portrait genre. The horse is one of the sacred Kazakh animals. It is present in the national folklore and festivities. Should a big celebration with horse races take place, a 10-year-old Zaygoluk will be presented to the winner. One of the major pieces capturing this tradition is Kwanapiyas Telkozhin's Kokpal. The importance of domestic animals in the Kazakh household is hard to underestimate. We can conjure this from the abundance of these on the Kasteva's works. He grew up in the rural area among the animals and understood the connection between the Kazakhs and the animals. Expectedly, horses appear often in his works as an indispensable part of every Kazakh's life.
Сонымен қатар жылқыны бізде өзіміздің ұлттық дәстүрлі ойындарымызға да қолдана білген, соның ішінде көкпар, қыз ұзату.
We moved and played on horses. Clearly, we have developed numerous races and sports that involved horses. Kuz-Kul, Kokpa, Alan Beige being several of them. Let's stop at Kanapir Teljanov's Kokpa from the 1960s. The artist showed the game dynamics through the position of the horses, some toppling, some running away, and leaving clouds of dust behind that bend in the grass, and causing the sense of presence in the moment. His ability to make an observer feel the tension of the game and share the sense of elation of the young, through the image of a whip thrown in the joy of victory and hanging in the air.
Аспанға лақтырып, міне негізгі жеңімпаз болады-ау деген сондай бір мүмкіндікпен туындаған шығармалардың бірі.
All in all, there is no lack of works in the animal style, especially so in the 1950s and 60s works famous for the depiction of horses, the loyal friendship between humans and horses, humans and nature being the main message included in each piece. The genre carries a special meaning to the whole nation. For example, Moldahet Kembayev's Tamin and Asul is particularly special. In it, the artist showed a wild Asu being chased by two cowboys with nooses, galloping on two domestic horses, with the sun approaching the horizon before dusk, and filling the whole steppe with a mild, enveloping light. The number of stories, myths, tales of the magical power of horses is countless. Its beauty, grace and intelligence have been glorified in poems and captured in many paintings. Being close and dependent on horses, the Kazakh nation has developed a discipline of horse training. Every step from taming to herding to hauling was thought through. In this work here by Moldahet Kembayev called Taming an Asu from 1961, we see depicted a light grey horse. This kind was always considered a symbol of freedom. Let's stop at two particular points. From one point, the untamed horse and the vast steppe it lives in are a symbol of the freedom and unabridged development. From another point, the horse is being tamed. From the technical point of view, this piece has mixed yellow and blues particularly well. All kudos to the artist. The practice of combining various genres on one canvas is relatively common. For example, encountering a piece that is a good sample of portrait, landscape and genre painting is very easy. Clearly, meeting animal style combined with other genres is not unheard of. Some paintings employ more than 3 genres. Let's look at Bortnikov's The Letter to the Kolkhozniks. Here you can notice a felt carpet called surmak, which is a staple element in the applied national arts. People sitting on the surmak are depicted in the portrait style. Look further and you see the mountainscape interspersed by the images of grazing animals, which is obviously an animalistic style manifestation. Any piece will have at least 2 genres implemented. There are many Kazakh artists who worked in the animal genre, Ablehan Kasteyev being one of the more prominent ones. He was able to create works that carry great artistic and semantic value and have set the standards very high. Today, the young generation of artists creates new pieces by using new techniques and breathing new life into the genre.